It's tired o'clock. Caden's at the dentist, and I'm bringing back in style the long sleeve shirt under the t-shirt. Did you guys used to do that? We used to wear these. I did in high school. And if I did it, it was totally in style. Anyway, Antique Candle Co. is having 30% off Tree Farm. That's huge. And their other Christmas scents. So stock up while you can, because their candles last for a long time. I'll put the link here. If you don't know Tree Farm. My skin looks better in this lighting. And my teeth. See the ones I'm missing? If you are new here, Tree Farm is my signature scent candle that smells nothing like me with Antique Candle Co. It's the best pine scent ever. You can burn it all year round. It's really good in the winter, spring, summer, fall. 30% off is the best deal. And they have free shipping, anything $50 or more. And their antique containers are on sale. I don't think those are quite 30% off, but they don't put those on sale very often, so grab them while you can. I see a lot of you still wear this shirt under the shirt. This is so cool. I feel like I'm in high school again. Oh, my teeth back here. I'm missing those because those were root canal teeth, and when I was really sick, that's what was not helping me get better, if that makes sense. I have some of it back in my saved stories, but long story short, I had fake boobs, I had fake teeth, and all of it was making me sick. The boobs gave me POTS, the teeth sucked the life out of me and made me feel like I was dying. Literally, if you were following me way back when, you'll know. Jesus saved me. I know a lot of you asked me to talk about this, so here we go. POTS, I don't have it anymore. I used to have it. It's a syndrome and you can get over it. I know some of you have it, and some of you send me questions about what helps me. Drinking lots of water, eating lots of salt. I had the POTS where my blood pressure would take a dive and I would have to go get IVs to boost up my blood pressure. I had breathing issues. Sometimes my heart rate would just like boop, shoot up really high. I just like a whole gamut of things where it's basically like my autonomic nervous system was on freak out mode. So for years that happened when I had breast implants. Then I got those out because I thought, what else could be making me sick? Got a little better. Like I had migraines every day when I had breast implants. My migraines went away and I could just never get fully better, even after I got my breast implants out, which was so weird to me. Like I was always so healthy, and that was the only thing that I could think of that I had foreign in my body until I watched this root cause movie. I rented it on YouTube. I think the dental associations complained about it on Netflix, I think is what I heard, so they took it. I did on my own because all the doctors always said everything was fine, even when I had breast implants and all this stuff, that I was totally fine. But I felt like I was dying. I mean, Trav would come home from work some days and I thought I was going to die. And I would start crying because just all day long, my body just felt like it was on give out mode. And I decided to get my root canals pulled, so I went and got them all pulled. They're all in the back. I can still smile without having replacements. They do have options for replacement, but I decided not to. I'm not even joking you, the day of getting my root canals out, so the dentist told me they were sitting on like digestive points or something in my body. I had a horrible time digesting. So when I had POTS and all of this stuff going on, I would eat and everything would flush out. I would have these attack things where my body would get freezing cold. I would start shaking. I would go to the toilet and just flush everything out. And I lost a ton of weight, and I just was super unhealthy because my body was not absorbing anything. The day of me getting my root canals out, none of those attacks came. All of my digestive attacks where I was flushing everything out were totally gone. So after I got my root canals out, so much better. I didn't feel like I was dying anymore. Little by little, I was getting better and stronger, and like I said, my digestive system was so much better. I wasn't having those kind of attacks, but I was still in that fight or flight mode that my body had been stuck in for years from having POTS and then having all this stuff with my root canals. And I felt like I just could not get over the hump of that. And I would feel like I still do have some brain stuff going on my right side. There's like just, I don't know if that's where all my root canals were, but nothing like I did before. I would have times where I would have like a really bad headache on the right side, or just like things still going on, or I would have what I would call flare, and I just didn't feel good. Super bad chemical sensitivities. Like if somebody was wearing perfume, I would have all kind of reactions to it. The flare things that I'm talking about would come after, like, I was super chemical hypersensitive, like I said. So it would come after I smelled like perfumes, if Bradley put too many laundry beads in the washer, if I worked with paint that day, if I just went out in public and smelled somebody with cologne on. I mean, it would be like I would have a headache for the next however many days, and I just wouldn't feel good. And sometimes I would have other little symptoms, until a lot of you were telling me about the DNRS program. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get paid to share this. It just really worked for me. I did, seriously, 3 days of it, and my chemical sensitivities have been gone ever since then. And that was a year ago this last December, so a year and a month now. I did the program for 6 months. All it is meditation, basically, is what you're doing. It's kind of pricey. I think I paid $300 some for the DVDs, and it's cheesy. So that's the long story, and I hope if you didn't want to hear it, that you just scanned on through. But I wanted to mention all of that for those of you that I do get a lot of you asking about my health, because for so many years I talked about it a lot, because like I said, I just felt horrible all the time, and no doctor could help me. I went to a dozen or more doctors, all the specialists. The only thing they could find was hypersensitivities on my white matter, on my brain MRI, like I said. And they always would say, we don't know where it's coming from. We don't know why. It's not a big deal. So I'm just so thankful to God for leading me down this path that I could heal, and where I am at now. I just tried not to. They tell you in the DNRS program not to talk about it, and not to talk about your concerns or the health things that you feel like that you have for a good 6 months while you're going through the major meditation stage of retraining your brain. And it's not like hokey pokey meditation. I wouldn't have done it if it was that. It's cheesy like a toddler meditation, but it worked for me. And I'll put the link here if you want to check into it. I just looked it up on Facebook and used the link on there. And I believe the lady, that she's not a doctor, she just had these issues herself, and she came up with this, and it's helped a lot of people. And I think she's in Canada. I do still use the techniques some. I don't do the hour of meditation anymore a day, but I do still do some of it. Like if I feel like I'm having a little bit of an issue, because I can tell I do still have some right-sided, probably a little bit of brain damage from whatever went on. Like I said, all my root canals are on that side. So it does help me, like, to get through little things that I'm going through. Nothing like before. All my fight or flight, all the chemical sensitivities, all that stuff is gone. But there are little things. The little things are nothing in comparison to the big things that I was experiencing. And maybe God will choose to heal me 100% someday here on this earth, and maybe not. Maybe I'll be healed fully, not till heaven someday. And either way, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. And I'm just thankful for how far I've come, and it's just been quite the ride. And it just shows God's grace and His healing. One more thing. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of dental people and people that have breast implants telling me that you have these things and you're fine. There are a lot of people that have these things that are not fine. And there's even a dentist on Instagram here, I'll tag him, that talks about the bad things and why root canals aren't good for us. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just sharing from my experience that was 100% real. And I'm in a breast implant illness group on Facebook that with thousands of women sick from breast implants. It's a real thing, and there are a lot of people hurting from this stuff. Even if my story only helps 1 or 2 people, I'm going to continue to share it, because I would have wanted somebody to share with me, and I'm not going to let my trials go to waste. I'm gonna use it to share. I forgot to mention about the DNRS program. I personally do not think it would have helped me if I did not have my breast implants and root canals out. I needed to get all of that toxicity and everything that was causing the problem out first before I did it. And I know some people have POTS and they don't have any implants, and POTS can be caused by trauma and sickness and pregnancy sometimes. Like, I've heard people getting POTS from that. So I know those things you can't really get something out before you try something like that. So maybe it would work better for those kind of people without having, you know, the root cause out first, if that makes any sense. But for me, I needed to get all of that out first. This looks like an original painting. I don't like the frame, but the painting is cool.
Are you ready for this? It's time for a twist. Unexpected, a new direction. Wait and see, it's gonna be a game changer.
Mom.
What?
You're lying.
Lying about what?
You did not paint this. Mumsy.
Look, I'm doing it right now.
No, I thought you meant like you painted this whole thing. I was like,
Are you ready for this? It's time for a twist. Unexpected, a new direction. Wait and see, it's gonna be a game changer. Are you ready for this? It's time for a twist. Unexpected, a new direction. Wait and see, it's gonna be a game changer.
After Caden's dentist appointment, I went out foraging to the grocery store for more branches. And guess what? The landscaper came from the time I was there last time. I knew I should have just trimmed the whole bush. I'm keeping a clippers in my car from now on. And if I would have had a clippers that day, I would have trimmed the whole bush. But Briley kept momming me, and I was getting pricked by the bush. And the lady that kept looking at me, acting like I was murdering someone. Anyways, I only got 3 branches. But look what I got today when I was out foraging. I'm just driving gently down the road, and I see this big, it's like a tree. It was just chopped, laying at the side of the road. And I saved it. Do you think the leaves will stay this color? It's fall here right now. In Tucson, we have fall in the winter.
Are you ready for this? It's time for